good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are joined with Grow Daily, and this is another episode of Grow Daily Meets. And today we are joined by a very, very special guest who goes by the name of Ashley Walters, well known as an actor and musician. How are you today, my brother?
I'm good, bro. Good.
Good. Brief introduction. What we do every time we sit down with someone is Grow Daily Meets is pretty much a conversation worth having. So it's a conversation we'd have off camera. If I was to see you in an event, see you out on the street, very natural conversation, but at the same time, getting the gems out of you, which we know are going to help benefit people that are watching. So first and foremost, how are you at the moment? How are things? How is Ashley Walters at this current moment in time and the projects you've got happening?
This current moment in time, right now, right now, I'm comfortable. I'm around like-minded people or whatever, so I'm comfortable. In general, if you're talking about like time in my life, it's brilliant, man. I'm married, I've got 8 children, 8 beautiful children, 2 beautiful kids with my wife, her stepson, who is my son anyway as well. So, just got my family life straight. And that's I say this to everyone on a daily basis. If your family ain't straight, bruv, and your home ain't straight, life ain't gonna be straight, fam. Trust me, whatever you do, however much money you think you're earning, however good you think things are going or whatever, the core and the foundation is always your support network, which is your family, man. And you have to keep them strong.
Agreed.
So they can keep you strong, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm in a brilliant space when it comes to family is brilliant. So I've got the ability and the freedom, I suppose, to mentally just go and focus on my job and not worry about my home.
Definitely. You mentioned something quite early on, which I think is very interesting. You said about you're around like-minded people at the moment, and just being someone who, whether it be overlooking your socials or just someone who's a follower of you, I can tell. I can tell that those groups of friendships definitely over the years have changed, and you can see how it's changed within you, and you can also tell that at the moment you're around a certain space. Let's speak more about that. What is it that's changed? What is it that is totally new people to your life? Have you chose new people intentionally? What is it that's changed?
I think I've been gravitating towards, the space that I'm in now already. And it's been quite a weird journey because, I realized that I had to, first and foremost, I had to change my circle. My circle consisted of people that enhance my bad parts. I don't blame them for it because they were kind of mentally going through the same thing that I was going through, but we weren't helping each other. And when you're with a group of people that you all want to stay average, no one wants to step out of the box and do something different or something better to inspire the others. We were happy kind of keeping each other in a comfortable space where we didn't have to think about doing anything better. So I got out of that. I changed my circle, and then some of those, I kind of revisited a lot of those people that I left behind when I changed my circle, and they had gone on the same journey as me. So right now, like my circle of friends consist of some really positive thinkers. Some too extreme, to be fair, for me. Like Swiss, one of my best friends, one of my closest friends. Swiss is vegan. He's fully on nutrition, spirituality and whatever, to a point where I'm kind of, when I'm around him, I'm like, whatever. And this guy will bombards my WhatsApps every day with, links and this and that or whatever. But we train each other like that, do you know what I'm saying? And it keeps me focused. But so he's one of the main examples, one of the people that, we've gone into certain business ventures together recently as well. So it's meant that I've naturally had to spend more time with him. And kind of, I suppose when you're around a certain environment or you're around certain people a lot, you subconsciously warm to, you become how they are. You fit in. So I've not fully gone vegan yet, but I'm on my journey, innit? I'm on my vegan journey.
What are you, I'm the wrong person to mention this to, we're going to stick on this one. So what have you quit at the moment, or what have you got rid of?
I've quit meat.
Nice. How long?
A month and a half.
I'm 2 years in.
Good luck. It's a hard thing. Listen, right now I'm at a place where like any minute now, I could just go back. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not even a thing. It might be tonight. You see what I'm saying? Like, where I said, I don't lie to people. I'm nowhere near there. I'm just starting to understand the benefits of it.
What's the reason? For those who don't know, what's your reasoning?
All right, me personally, what happened for me, over the years, all my alcoholism, bad lifestyle, lack of sleep and all that stuff, eventually has resulted in me having eczema, so I get really bad eczema, IBS, and a lot of other stomach problems. So I became lactose intolerant.
Which I'm sure Swiss will say all black people are.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. No one's meant to be eating no dairy, basically. That's his theory. So I've kind of had to go on a journey with my doctor as well when it comes to what has been the issues with my body and my stomach and whatever. So it's been my journey trying to cut out different things. Now, this is not to become vegan or whatever. This was literally to stop being on the toilet all day. If you know, I'm an actor. I work 14 hours a day, and I'll be in the middle of scenes, and the pain will lick my stomach, bro. And you know what I mean? We have to shut down the shoot. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying. So, and it just can't run. It's time consuming, and it wastes money. So I had to start thinking about my diet and whatever. So kind of initially I stopped drinking. I started drinking alcohol, which did wonders for me. More for my focus, but physically gave me a lot of energy back.
How often was you drinking before?
I was drinking on a daily basis, but I mean, I wouldn't say I was an alcoholic, but it became, it becomes part of the lifestyle. Studio, man's having a drink. Man's having a drink. I've got a gig tonight, man's having a drink. So kind of the combination of that killing my body and my wife being teetotal, never done any drugs in her life, never smoked, never drank, kind of pushed me to that decision. But that's been brilliant for me first and foremost. And then when it comes to food, changing the diet, I mean meat. On a daily basis, I jog in it for the last 2.5 to 3 months straight. And how much longer I can jog since cutting out the meat is a different thing. So I realized I don't know the technical terms for whatever's happening, but I feel the change.
You feel more energetic.
I feel more energetic, I feel lighter, and obviously I felt like the meat was bogging me down in some way.
Have you found it a struggle to cater towards the new diet just in natural habitats? Right,
this is the issue why I'm finding it so difficult, because I live my life on the road. You see what I'm saying? So I've been sampling people. I found some guy that kind of makes your meals for you. You know what I'm saying? For the week. So I was doing that, buying that, but then I didn't like the food. And then there's some vegan spots I can go to. I'll be cool. Cook daily. I rinse that. You know what I'm saying? But then most other places, not to my liking. So it's what do you do when you're stranded?
But you're still eating fish, though, right?
I still eat fish. Okay. I love fish, bro. I can't lose that right now. So you know what I'm saying? But Swiss fully, like I said, is gone fully.
Doesn't surprise me with Swiss because he's been on that journey for quite a while.
For a while.
So that makes, I'm glad you put that in there, because now I kind of understand the new space you're in as well. And then obviously you mentioned the jogging. So have you always been onto the fitness and the health that as much as you are now?
No. I've been really lucky, I think most of us kind of as black people, we are kind of lucky where our genes and our muscle memory, for obvious reasons, are very different to other people, to other races. So it don't take much, you know what I'm saying, to get a physique or to get your physique back if you've lost it. But I started boxing when I was 15 years old, 15 to 17. And before that, I ran for my school. So I did 100 meters and relay. And so that was kind of my fitness. I was always kind of fully active or whatever, but kind of with the music lifestyle and the film lifestyle, whatever, I just became lazy, man. I think what prompted me really to start working on my body was I was seeing a lot of the new school actors coming in, and this is my son's 15, one of my sons 15, and he plays basketball. He's 6 foot odd, size 13 foot, and he just started banging out at the gym, and would be coming home. You know, you come out the bathroom you're right. whatever. But I'm like, raw, this guy, he could actually do it. Obviously, I'm not gonna let him know you could do me, but he might have a good chance. Do you see what I'm saying? So I thought I need to step up my game, and you know, you see weight coming on certain places and whatever. So I just felt like, as a 35-year-old man now, I need to, you know, the days are gone where I would drive past these people, you know, power walking or whatever, and laugh at them like, what you doing, man? Go home or whatever. You realise that as the older you get, where your body changes and kind of slows down, you need to be doing more to keep yourself healthy. If I have to leave this world, I wouldn't want it to be because something I was doing or consuming myself. Do you know what I'm saying?
That. Yeah, I love that. Would you say that you seem like someone who develops new habits quite easily, should I say?
I've got an addictive personality.
Yeah, I was going to get,
so,
I thought so.
Yeah, that's led me down the wrong path many a times though. You see what I'm saying? It's a gift and a curse. But when I find something I like, I rinse it till there's no tomorrow. So I haven't missed a day of gym in 3 months.
No, we see you.
I don't play. You know what I'm saying? So I've been going in, and I love it. But like I said to you in the beginning, it's focused me so much, man.
Yeah.
You know, one of the main things, I'm up early.
I was just gonna say, what is the structure of your day? Like, how is your day going now at the moment? Let's say this week.
So every morning, 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm with my personal trainer in the gym. So we do a full-on hour to 2 hour session. Usually after that session in the evening, I'll go to my local members club, which has got a gym, and bang out another hour. And then an hour's jog at least in the morning, every morning. Difficult, man, difficult. Also, I do boxing Monday night. I'm not doing it tonight because I'm here, but Monday nights in Ladbroke Grove with an ex-boxer I know. But that's mainly for training for the new TV series I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I'm mixing it up. I start yoga in like 2 weeks. I want to do yoga. I'm learning Spanish for the last like 4 weeks now. Yeah. So I'm just like trying to just focus my mind as much as possible, train my brain as much as possible, and keep me away from, you know, stuff that's just not good for me, fam.
All right, so going back, because for me, I've always perceived you as someone who's always taken on new skills. As I say, like, I remember seeing things as a very young age that you was like in Sylvia Young and different things that I would not have thought of Asher D, quote unquote. Have you always been very focused on extracurricular, like from a young age?
Yeah, I've had to be. I had no choice. My mum kind of worked in education at a level that there was no excuses in my house. So she weren't just a teacher. She was head of human resources for all the teachers in the borough. So she was like, she was like, I know, brother, it's mad pressure. She was hiring like the headmasters and, you know, like that sort of level. That's what she did. So she knew everything was going on in my education, what system I was going through or whatever. And when I came home, it was like school again. I had tutors 3 days a week, whatever, all of this stuff. I could never tell.
And this is growing up in Peckham?
This is growing up in Peckham, man. I always say with my mum, education, holidays, and quality time. That's all it was that she gave. The rest of the time, she was a nightmare. You see what I'm saying? And she won't understand me saying that because she wanted better for me so much. She pushed it too much, man. You know, like, as a parent, I know now because I've got my kids. So when I look at my youths and I'm like, I know what I went through and they kind of going down the same road, I get so passionate about it and whatever, to the point that, you know, my son might not talk to me for 3 months because he's like, look how you talk to me or whatever, but it's like out of love. But my mum did that with me all the time. So, but I was scared. I had a healthy fear of her. But she was very ingrained in the whole system. So I had no excuses. So
you really had to play the game the right way because she was in the game.
Of course. Very well-to-do woman, well-educated, very articulate, well-spoken, and hopefully, you know, she just passed it down to me. But one thing I knew with her was there was no my mum worked hard, and I saw that graft day in and day out. She did everything she could. It was on a budget, you know what I'm saying? But this woman, she would fly to New York just before I started my new year at secondary school. You know, when a pound would get you $2, you know them ones there. So she'd be out there getting my Jordans and whatever, making sure I look fly. You know what I'm saying? Come back in 3 weeks, bare bags. There you go, sunlight. So I remember them little things that she grinded for me. Never turned around to me and said it couldn't happen, like always. So I think I've taken that on still.
So how did you get from the extracurricular you was doing into acting? Out of all the activities you was doing, everything you was partaking in, what was it that said to you, acting is my thing and that's what I'm going for?
It was, if I'm honest, it was kind of forced on me in the beginning. My cousin, my elder cousin, Wasp, Lewis, he was acting. He was at Sylvia Young Theatre School. And his mum was working full time. My mum wasn't at the time. So my mum became his chaperone. And just ended up taking him to all his castings, all his auditions or whatever. And I would always end up be like tagging along. And I think one time we went to a casting for a play called, what was it, Children of Eden at the Prince Edward Theatre in West End. And the guy there was just like, said to my mum, you know, you might as well just slap a number on him as well. Because it was an open audition, so she was like, let him try. And then long story short, I got the job, bro. And
just for those who don't know, Sylvia Young, like for me growing up, Sylvia Young was just spoke about so much in the environment I was in. I don't know how popular it is now or if it's still even going.
It is still going. It's not as popular, but if, you know, comparison-wise, I'd say it was the identity of its time.
It was like, the way I knew it was if you was on TV, you went through Sylvia.
Yeah,
Young,
yeah.
Like you had
especially as a child actor. But there was a time where, you know, Sylvia Young, they had most of the adult actors in EastEnders.
Yeah, exactly.
They had all the kids in Grange Hill or whatever. So most of our popular shows that we grew up watching would have been, you know, the actors were provided by Sylvia Young, a lot of them. And Natalia Conte, a few others.
Yeah. So musically, I mean, we're before Bullet Boy, we're a few years into Sylvia Young. I'm not sure what age, sort of 19, 20, is that when you come across So Solid?
Yeah.
What was it that drew you towards that? I'm not going to get into the ins and outs of how it happened because I think many people know the story, the Pirate Radio, etc. But what was it that made you think that's my next focus?
So it was camaraderie, it was unity that kind of made me, you know, it's being part of a pack, being part of a gang. It was a gang. You know what I'm saying? Essentially, it was, that's what we were. So
you see that word? See you use that word gang.
I use the word gang in a sense of a group of like-minded people.
Cool.
I don't mean criminals.
Yeah, because I was going to say at the time the media would have loved, they would have had a field day with that word.
Yeah.
So what is it that makes you use that word? But yeah, you've explained this. It's obviously the unity. So it was almost like the whole theory of being in a family that you haven't got big family and you see that family over there with a big family. It's like, I wonder what it would be like Christmas at their house. That kind of feeling.
That was the vibe for me. Mega became my older brother. You know what I'm saying? Certain man became my father figure and whatever. And, you know, it weren't all positive all the time, but it was better than what I felt I had. And I felt I belonged. And more importantly, no one could trouble me again. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, so I felt protected. I felt all of that stuff. And that was kind of one of the main draws for me. But also as well, the fact that everyone was making music. Yeah. And we all loved it. We came from the Yo MTV raps on MTV Base era when you had to wait up till 3 in the morning for the thing to come on and tape it on VHS. I could show man the bag of VHS tapes I've got with that show just taped, and that's when I learned about spitting, about rapping or whatever. Before that point, I was listening to Smash It stuff. Kylie Minogue, Bros. You know them sort of things, like music that didn't represent or that I couldn't relate to. So when we got like it was the Camp Low, Biggie kind of, you know what I mean, Jay-Z sort of era, Tupac and that's when I just fell in love with it. But all we had to lay our emotions on at that point was garage. Because that was owned by the UK and was kind of underground and street. So all we did literally was like rap on Garage.
Yeah.
You know, before it was PSG,
Yeah,
them
yeah,
man
of
there,
course,
they were doing
yeah.
party vibes and whatever, and we just came and started talking about pain. You know, man tried to shoot me on the block and started just taking it somewhere different. So
When So Solid is spoke about, it's always going to be spoke about with a level of respect, a level of legendary status, groundbreaking, trailblazer, someone who, should I say, a group of people who changed the game and had a massive influence. I've always been intrigued to ask someone who was in the midst of that, how do you feel the influence was being inside it and not being outside?
how did we influence others? You reckon?
Yeah, how would you say that So Solid influence? I'd say the culture, not even just necessarily music, just England, London, the culture at that time of what we've now got, because it definitely had a direct effect.
I'd say we were slightly responsible for making the music industry here a bit more like flamboyant. I think because we were so, I think it got to the point it became slightly ridiculous because we would watch them American videos and that, like, and the cars and the way they had their jewelry and the clothes and whatever. And we introduced a lot of that into Garage. So a lot of time you'd see me would be like a bucket cap like Jay-Z fitted, or we'd be in velour tracksuits, Anichi or what, like that sort of. We were fully into that culture, long chains with pendants on. You know what I'm saying? And then the flashy cars and whatever. So we kind of introduced that American kind of style.
But you done it in a very English way.
Yeah, of course. But we did it in a very English way, and we did it.
Yeah.
Because when we actually started to meet those Americans, they weren't doing it.
Yeah.
They weren't actually doing it for real.
So you mean they was portraying it, but not
Oh,
necessarily?
they were renting.
Okay,
Renting jewelry or, renting cars or whatever. But we were adamant.
You was playing by the rules.
If you talk to producers, video like directors or whatever, if we come, like if there's cars in the video, it's our cars.
Yeah.
We'd argue about that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I remember Mega like being like, no, rent cars. Are you mad? Man will buy the cars, fam, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was our stuff, jewelry, ours.
There
you know
was
what I'm saying?
pride in it. That's pride.
Yeah, of course,
like
there was
that.
mad pride. Like,
So we, in So Solid now, we had our little obstacle with the law and whatnot that we will know about. And again, as I say, I'm not going to focus on the ins and outs of how that happened. What I am going to ask you is how you felt in that situation, what you learned from that situation, because it seemed like from us being the outside world that that was like the end of an era and the start of the new Ashley Walters. So I feel like a lot must have happened in that period. And what was going through your head? I mean, you're sitting in 18 months on your own.
7 months I did.
Okay.
I got sentenced to 18 months.
But you're okay, cool.
I did 7. I got 2 off for good behaviour. I mean, well, I lost my children, yeah, and
When you say you lost, just to clarify.
I lost my children meaning I couldn't see my kids.
Okay, yeah.
My kids were like, they're my age, you know what I'm saying? Like I breed my children, so kind of having my children taken away from me, and then pretty much slowly and surely everything else was the most difficult thing to deal with. That was a huge shock to my system. But I tell everyone this, like, what happened when I came out of prison was I just went back to being Ashley. There was no,
Would you say it sort of popped the bubble that you was in?
Yeah, of course.
For the good?
For the good, yeah. Because I was like, when they shut my cell door, I kid you not, I sat there thinking they'd made a mistake.
They're gonna come back and tell
I was adamant that, and it's happened in my life before. I feel blessed because I know like there's some energy I have or something that's drawn to me where it's not luck no more. It's these things are happening for a reason. Like they're meant to be my opportunities. They're meant to be my thing. So it was getting into So Solid was divine, bruv. It was, meeting Big Kid. Didn't know Big Kid worked at Supreme, whatever. But I'd already wanted to be So Solid before.
Yeah.
So the universe put all these things in the place, and it just worked well.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So this whole guy in prison thing and whatever for me was like, it was eye-opening, but it was just someone going, okay, you've had your fun. You know what I'm saying?
Did you clock that in the time? In the actual moment, did you clock, do you know what, this is meant to happen, or did it take you to come out? Did it take a while?
No, that process happened whilst I was inside, I
Okay.
think.
We had a lot of people sending in questions to ask you, and one of them, I think, it's quite interesting because it's a topic not many people would cover, and it is the financial benefit of acting. And the reason why I think it's interesting is because it's not really spoken much. I think for acting, for rappers, you have more of an idea, musicians, etc., etc. And the debate was, you are pretty much seen as, well, one person was saying you're seen on the same level as an Idris Elba, yeah.
No way.
And all right, cool.
Not
Why-
financially.
All right,
Trust me.
let's break this down, because it was an interesting debate, and it's one I know a lot of people will have. Looking at your brand of who you are and what you've done, you've definitely got achievements that can go side to side with Idris Elba. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, some. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, cool.
So what is it that has differentiated? Is it because you've chose to say no to certain things? What is it what is really the difference in regards to financial success? Not figures, but you know
All
what I
right.
mean?
So I think there's a bit of it that involves what I was talking about before, meaning a moment. Yeah. All right. So Idris's situation was The Wire, right? The Wire is what he's been grafting for years and years before that. But The Wire, which wasn't that well received even in the States when it would first come on, I don't think. But then was kind of sent over here and then picked up around Europe and whatever, and then went back there and blew. From that success, so him having his initial success in that show, I don't even think a lot of people knew he was from the UK.
Yeah,
to be fair,
true.
people hadn't grown up knowing who he was. That catapulted him to some different thing. But then when they exported him back to us, and he came and did Luther, that was the best thing that he could have ever done.
Broke
to be
that
fair,
mold.
because he just broke the mold.
Yeah.
He did straight away. He did another character.
Yeah.
He went on the other side of the ropes.
Yeah.
He was just one of the most famous, if not the most famous, drug dealer. Yeah, in America, in Baltimore, or whatever, the hardest.
Yeah.
And then he came over and played a detective
Yeah.
very well. To the point, that show won all sorts of awards and killed it. So at that point, he was cemented. What he's done after, and I think he's definitely pushing down the route of producing now and feeding the industry a bit more.
We've had a lot of guests down here, and not many have really. I mean, we haven't delved into the financial part of it, and I think for someone looking at your role, which a lot of people are acting, especially we found just from today putting it out on our social medias, is something everyone wants to be doing now. And I think it's key for them to understand how important that financial management is and how to get yourself to that level. How this debate started was, well, he's done films with 50 Cent. And he said 50 Cent bought him a So just to obviously go on a bit further. So again, we're not up to Top Boy, but we're past Bullet Boy now. Bullet Boy financially as a success. Does that affect you a lot as a star of it, or not so much?
No.
It's
Not
just,
at all.
you're pretty much just getting paid
Like
to
I
do that
said,
role.
you are, as an actor, people really have to understand. That's why you really have to love acting, because the glamour is fake. It's not. You know what I'm saying? It's not what it actually is. So when, even in like Bullet Boy, I am not the main person on that set. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm a pawn. I am, what they are, the production company are using to portray their story.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So I get paid to come in for work, but I have no...
But it looks like to someone it's your film.
Yeah, exactly.
Have
but
you seen Ash's film?
No, but I have no ownership
Yeah.
of the movie or whatever, unless I write it, unless I come up with the idea.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Unless I'm producing it, unless I'm behind the scenes in that sense. So at some point as an actor, you see there's a lot of actors like that just don't get involved in that side of things. But some of them can, because like I said, they're getting huge amounts of money per movie, or they just don't ever do it. But like for me, acting has never been where I've wanted to stop. I've always clearly understood that it's not the pinnacle for me.
Yeah.
I'm slightly more creative than that. I feel like I can create things that people want to watch. You know what I'm saying?
What is the pinnacle for you? What would you say your main goal is?
It's giving away everything, man.
What's your views on the way the digital media has changed everything? I was going to say acting, but everything. So for example, your Netflix is now basically your TV. Your YouTube is basically your TV. Radio is non-existent. It's now everything can be streamed, or you can watch it back. You don't have to be there in the moment. how do you feel that's affected acting? For example, everyone now watches things on Netflix.
It's affecting it in a. I mean, it's gonna affect it in a way that we all don't know about yet. We've got loads more to come to understand, but I think it's going in the direction of what music had to go through with Spotify and the new iTunes situation or whatever. They're kind of getting into that. I mean, even down to how we put out the packages now. I heard Drake the other day talking about capsule or something or
playlist.
Playlist, and then next man's calling their album capsule instead of album now and this and that, because the way it's consumed is just completely different. Even with this Sky show I'm doing, I think they're just gonna put out the 6 eps.
So it's
on demand.
It's not gonna,
so you can watch it when you want to watch it. It's
wow.
gonna be one of the first times I think that's happened. They did it with Idris Elba's thing, Gorilla, or whatever. So they're just working on new ways, because no one don't want to have to wait now to next Thursday to watch something or whatever. So, you lose people's attention and this and that. But then how does that result in how many people watch my show? Then how do we work that out now or whatever? So it's all becoming new. It's new to the industry. But without a doubt, they're always, if we're evolving, so will they be, probably at a faster rate. So now what that means is the way I go into negotiating deals now has to be different as well. And also, what's started to come into play is your social media standing, your influence and whatever, as well as what you take into the room.
Are you attentive to that, i.e. your brand online? Is that something you focus on?
Not as much as I should, Not as much as I should. I get offers probably on a daily basis for people like, let me take over the thing, bruv, because you're not doing it properly or whatever. My kids say the same thing, like, you don't know how to do social media, Dad, or whatever. But for now, I'm calm. But I do think there's going to be a moment where I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to start paying someone to advise me on the way to go, because it's starting to bring in the revenue.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Just having an Instagram is making me money per month. So it'd be stupid not to focus on it and refine what it is that is bringing that money in.
You'll be surprised as well the amount of opportunities you could get with the health and fitness just from you jogging every morning. That is effective.
Well, that as well, I mean, so you spoken to Paula, one of the people I put you in contact with.
Okay,
But my team, I've just put together like one of the most amazing teams of people that have had so much influence in the game for over the last 20 years. And I've got certain doors open for me that, it's gonna, hopefully it's going to change the game, and I could maybe be able to inspire some people when it comes to how they should go about what their business model should be. Do you know what I'm saying? When it comes to doing certain things, because I think the door's wide open. But what you were saying about the power changing is definitely happening. So, I know people like big corporate companies that are in retail, food, clothing or whatever, are investing in movies. Now,
definitely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could pretty much go to a lot of different people and get your projects made. So it's changing, but it's changing for the better. But it is scary, and there is parts of the game that have been nullified by the internet, bro.
I can imagine.
It's good and bad. You know that anyway. It's been good and bad in music. It's good and bad just in life in general. I'm sure at some point we will discuss that.
Definitely. Now, fast track a bit more to where we are now. Along the way, somewhere in there, 8 children occurred. So it's something we can't skip past. You're very much well known for being a father, a proud father at that. A big family man. I asked you off of camera, what's your motivation right now? And the first thing you said was your family. So I mean, the importance of family to you has definitely taken toll, especially as of the last few years. I would say anyway. Maybe it's because of social media and stuff. But 8 kids, bro. Like how? Well, I don't know how we got there, but was this on the plan? Was this always like?
No, never planned. To be fair, none of my kids have been planned. You could say they have been planned because I weren't unplanning them. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I mean. But
you had a final answer. Time,
But 8 kids. It started. It started, and I don't know whether it's finished yet. To be fair, but my wife every 3 days is like, we could do that. We could do that. And I look at her like, yeah, love, yeah.
How has it affected the hustle? I think that's the first thing I definitely want to know. Like, has it slowed it down? Has it sped it up? Is it?
I thought it slowed me down, but I think I was hustling in the wrong places. That's all. I was, time wasting hustling. I think now what I've learned to do is like when I'm go out and hustle, 99% of the time it's the right thing to be doing. A lot of the time before I was spending my time trying stuff and dabbling and whatever, whereas now I'm a bit slightly more focused with it. But I mean, motivation-wise, there's nothing better for me to wake up for. You know what I'm saying? I love the fact that I've got kids from all different, ages and are kind of all individual.
Yeah.
So, with my little ones now, like being 35 now and having babies again. Because my first set of babies, I was 17.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? 17, 18, 19. So I didn't know what the hell was going on. I didn't know who I was really at that point, you know what I'm saying, let alone how to make them people. So it's kind of, I've got a second chance now with my 3-year-old daughter and my 11-month-old son.
Yeah. To
kind of, not rewrite, I wouldn't say that, because there's no regrets in my household for, you know what I mean, what anyone's been through. Everything has shaped them. But now I can I do want to try molding my children a bit more now. Like with my other kids, I had that hippie attitude. My mum would be like, do this and do that. I'm like, no, I want them to be free-minded children. If they want to play with that, they do that. If they want to do that, do that. And it ain't really gone the way I wanted it to go, to be fair. But, I love and respect my kids, and they're on their journey. So I can clearly see that they're on their journeys, but they're going to have to go through some hardships in order to get there. We all will, some more than others though. But with my little ones, I'm thinking about now, like, bang, son, my little boy, I'm going to get him into football from early.
Okay.
Start facilitating some of those things, put some money behind it.
Yeah.
My daughter, push her.
That's how they do it. The people in successful positions generally do that.
So that's, I think there's something to be said from having that foundation.
Yeah.
As much as I don't want to take the edge out of them and then their naturalism and whatever they have, there's something to be said with like what Will Smith done with his kids from a very early age. He had them around certain things, which is the reason why Jaden Smith can be doing the movies that he's doing now and kind of winning in the way he is, because he had that back at him and he had that solid foundation. So, that's what I want to do. But they're what I live for, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, without them, I think I would be pretty much lost.
Cool, man. So, looking to where you are now, you've got a program on TV at the moment.
Yeah.
You've got something just from speaking to your team today, it sounds like next year is a busy year for you. Things dropping, sort of, the timing sounds like it's going to all drop into place quite well. So what's the focus right now for those who don't necessarily follow you or even watch TV? Because nowadays a lot of people don't.
Yeah, it's true. Right now, you can probably turn on ITV every Thursday. I don't know but I think by the time this comes out, it might be done still.
Okay.
But I've got a show on at the moment every Thursday called Safe House. It's in its second season, but I weren't in the first season. So I mean, that's pretty much kind of what everyone's, talking about or whatever. It's been trending like on socials for the last 2 weeks, I think, that it's been on. But my baby is Bulletproof. It's a show.
You like a bullet, bro.
I know, bro. Do you know what? It's just worked out that way. Bullet Boy, Top Boy, and then now Bulletproof. It's just like, it's mad. But it's my baby, man. It's like concept-wise, me and Noel Clark came up with this like 8 years ago, man. We sat in a Starbucks somewhere up in town. Literally before that point, been rivals in the game. So, it'd be one of them things where I'd walk into a casting room, he was sitting there, I'd be like, for God's sake, man, to walk out.
Is that him acting you're talking about?
Yeah. Okay. So we've always been going up for the same roles throughout our career. People won't know that because they don't see that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
haven't
the
seen
casting
him
couch, bro.
in acting loads. I more so knew him more so for directing, to be fair.
Yeah, but he knows done a bit.
Yeah.
Like acting wise, he's done a bit. If you got to remember, he's in every
Film that he does of
he's
himself.
in every film he does of
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
Then he was in Doctor Who for a minute.
Oh, okay.
You know, he's done like the BBC dramas and all of
Yeah.
that stuff as well. He's been out there heavily, but he hasn't gone as hard as me on it. But that's because he's been producing and
He's gone
directing.
quite hard on that.
But yeah, so we before that point we hadn't worked with each other. To be fair, there was slight animosity,
Yeah.
if I'm honest with you, and we just something connected us, something kind of road, half business, and a path was smoothed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Put it that way. I'm trying to pick my words right.
Yeah.
And so we just kind of we connected business wise, and I just said to him like it would just be a major coup if me and you were in something together, because I think like we're the most, you know, other than Idris, there ain't really no one else working out here like us. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it'd be stupid if we don't do something together. And at that point, people had tried to keep us apart, and there was that whole, you know, you're the same, so you can't be in together. So we just came up with this idea about I'd always been excited about the idea of trying to change socials or environment through film or TV. Oh, it sounds weird. Let me explain. We have a culture over here that doesn't like police.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I understand it, where it's come from. There's a lot of water under the bridge, but at the same time, if you look in America, even though the police killing, you know, criminals or people or whatever for no reason, and all of that stuff has been going on for years over there, black kids still grow up wanting to be feds. It's still glamorous to them over there for some reason. Like there's no stigma attached to being a police officer over there, even though they have the same culture of don't snitch, don't do this work. The community's kind of has the same vibe towards the police, but black people want to be police over there, and it's like a viable, it's a good career choice to make. So I always thought like, why is it not that way over there? But then I thought, well, then you got things like Bad Boys.
Yeah.
You know, watching Will Smith and Martin Lawrence pushing a Porsche, jumping out whips, spinning around and all that stuff or whatever. Obviously, you kind of, as a kid, you want to be involved in that, but we don't have that over here. So I just wanted to make a show like that. Like, why can't we have
almost like cool police?
Yeah, just two cool feds.
Because you even got like the Kevin Hart films. Like, there's a lot of stuff over there that they have.
And we just don't do it.
Yeah.
So I was just like, yeah, we're gonna do it. So me and Noel sat down and wrote that. So we're playing two undercover and National Crime Agency officers, like infiltrating kind of like, you know, drug rings and whatever. But we're just brethren.
Yeah.
We came through together. We're from the road. We wear Balenciagas. We wear a Gucci. You get me? Or whatever. We got family. Or whatever. Like, just two normal guys.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like that people can relate to as characters, but we work for the police force.
Sick.
And we've gone all out, man. It's historical what Sky have done for us.
So this is a series, yeah.
It's a 6-part, 6 hours, 6-parter. They've given us some crazy money per episode to make the show. Like literally, we wouldn't make it. We said to them we wouldn't make it unless we can make it. You know, we want to shut down Tower Bridge and have cars flipping over each other. Do you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And if we can't do it that way, we ain't doing it.
So in that situation, do you still have ownership over the show? You just taking it to them and they fund it?
Yeah, that's it. It's our show. We basically, it's like, I mean, I suppose it's like a license. So they get to have it for a certain period of time or whatever. And obviously they've got the option to redoing it season 2, season 3 or whatever to a certain extent. But all the rights are owned by myself and Noel. So we have
that's big, man. And when's that coming?
I think we've got a slot for March, maybe next year. That could change, but we start shooting next month. We've been forced out of London due to recent events because of the whole terrorism situation and that. So we can't get any locations cleared. So we're shooting in Liverpool and parts of London. which will hopefully make it look like London
Still London, yeah.
So
Cool, that sounds big, man.
yeah, man, it's a good look, bro.
Cool. So other than that, I mean, obviously we've got a lot of things in the pipeline, a lot of things you're planning to do, and it's sort of like our quote unquote deep question of the interview that I often ask people, which is like, when all's said and done, when your career is at that point where you look back on it and you're just sort of in a reflection moment, what would you say is you want to be known for? One, as a person, but also as an actor.
As a person, I think I'm happy already that, you know, just coming here and you going, I know how you are with your kids and whatever. For me, that's job done.
Sick.
Yeah. Career-wise, I still don't know, but I know that there's something big, and that's not going to be to do with a job. Do you know what I'm saying? But
A long-term effect.
A long-term effect on the industry. I feel like I want to be able to, you know, I will never know, but when I'm in my grave, I want to have that Bob Marley effect.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? To
Yeah.
just be able to, for people, that brand to still be strong and people to still remember what it did. Do you know what I'm saying? And people to still be able to eat from it. You know what I'm saying? When I'm way out of it. You know what I'm saying? So I think if that's kind of what you're asking me, that's what
definitely.
it is. But I think that's more than any one job, any one Top Boy or whatever else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Cool. And apart from that, would you say that the main focus and the goals that you've got going forward are all acting focused, or is there anything outside of acting that you might have up your sleeve?
Oh yeah, loads. But you know what? Like my manager said to me yesterday at lunch, she said, "Shut your mouth sometimes." So I'm not going to say anything about these new ventures because
Alright,
some
cool.
of them will be stolen.
Alright, so we won't look at the ones that you haven't told us about. I know you've got one that we do know about, which is obviously, is it a production school? Is it a drama school? How would you word the title of it?
It's a drama school. So what we've got is Kingdom Drama School, Kingdom School of Arts. Kingdom Drama School is the website. It's a part-time drama school. Pretty much, you know, in the similar category as like Identity, where John Boyega went and whatever, owned by Femi. So we kind of, but I mean, I suppose the difference is we don't specify age. We start from 16 and it's upwards.
Yeah.
So at my school, I've got people in their 60s. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sick.
Coming to acting now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? All
Yeah.
the way down, like white, black, whatever color. Like, it's very mixed, where a lot of other schools are very specific to, like, you know, black kids at a certain age group or whatever. So we kind of mix it up. So we've got that. With that, we've got our own production company, Slander, slnda.com. So we've got like 5 things on our slate now that we're working into. And this is a new thing for me, the production company. So due to the fact I've got the Sky deal, it's off the back of that's come.
Okay, yeah.
So we're trying to push them, you know, like the shows that I told you, I've grabbed some real writers from the ends and for the people that I've known coming up that are writing real stories about superheroes, about assassins, about, you know, fiction and fantasy.
Thing is such a good
Oh,
show.
brother,
Such a
I
good
wish I
show.
could sit down and tell you about the show we're writing, brother. It's amazing. But, you know, people plagiarize and take, so you got to keep them things close to your chest. But yeah, so that, and then another big one is Apex, which is our talent agency. So I'm running my own talent agency now as well. And the beauty of that is that kind of, you know, we've got them coming through the school, and then we get to handpick them from the school and put them on a talent agency. Suppose the Kingdom School has been running for the last 6 years. I've always been involved with it, but I've only taken over co-ownership in the last 6 months.
Okay.
And that came because I felt that it needed rebranding and focus, even though it was doing so well, but also because I wanted to bring it closer to the industry. I feel like what happens with a lot of these drama schools and stuff like that is like, you know, you get the certificate, you leave, but then what?
There's no direct connection.
Yeah, there's no direct road into the game. So kind of what I did with the school is kind of put them directly in touch.
Kind of like what Sylvia Young.
Yeah, exactly, with the industry. So you know, if there is another series of Top Boy or whatever, a lot of my students will be getting castings for it, and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's good. It's a good thing, man. It's a brilliant
Sick,
thing.
man. Cool. Listen, Ash, it's more than a pleasure for us to have you there today.
Bro.
Honestly, it's something that we all hold close to our heart from Grow Daily Team. We definitely support everything you do. We see you in the mornings. Keep the jogging. We love that. We're going to be reposting. But yeah, stay focused on the content we've got as well. We obviously like the fact that you was a support of our brand for this to be mutual. But we wish you all the best of luck in everything you have to do, bro.
Man, thank you for having me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, bro.